What's going on, guys? So today, on this Double October review, we're going to take a look at, well, what is essentially the last of the Thrones, kind of. And it is the GNW 20,000? Am I saying that right? Why does it have all the zeros? I don't understand. But it's the Arche Gundam, or Arche Gundam, as people keep saying, like there's an I in it. And basically, this thing is a quote-unquote upgraded version of the Zwei, if I remember correctly. So, this is actually kind of signifying the final battle in the kind of launch bay area. And you should be fighting the Cherubim over here. Actually, I believe you have a rifle bit colliding with a Fang right there. So, yay! So, the Aliel Sachis, whatever, stole the throne. Had it upgraded by the innovators. It happens. So, double O logo there. A big red mess of pointy objects going there. I'm pretty sure the wife couldn't look at this thing directly just by all the pointy objects that are on it. And, oh yeah, by the way, Bandai 2009. Illustrated by Naoji Morishita. You know I love that stuff. Come to the bottom. Wow, that's a lot of red. GN Buster Sword. Mode change. So it's got sword mode, it's got rifle mode, it's got action. GN. I don't actually understand. That's the shield, but I don't really get it. And you got beam sabers or something. Other stuff. Things. It has a escape pod or a spaceship. I don't know what the heck. And you got swivel hips. Hips can do the swivel. And you got purple parts. Purple parts. And you've got no more room to move over. There we go. Hey, it can go on a stand. We know that already. Jeez, Bandai. And come on outside, you got HG Gundam 00, Arche Gundam. I've got skinny eyes. All the things, number 43 in the line. And come back there to get obligatory front and rear shot and a couple shots from the anime. Why is it GNW 20,000? I don't understand. But it's 20.9 meters tall, 72.9 tons. That is a heavy, heavy boy. Got to read up there. I can't read it. It's in Japanese. I'm not. And you got to read up there on Aliel Sachis. He's a jerk. Kind of know this. And you got 3-year-olds. Should keep Arche Gundams away from their face because it will hurt them. And you get 1,600 yen. Nice affordable kit. Upgraded dry. Or upgraded Zwei, whichever one it is. Ein Zwei. I think it's Zwei. I'll figure it out one of these days. Still upside down. Yeah. Let's get to it. Alright guys, so here we have the Arche Gundam. Basically, take all the things that you hated about the Thrones and crank it up to 11, and that's what you got with this. The oddball legs and feet that make it difficult to stand, so it tends to want to fall over unless you got it just in the right position. Sheer amount of painting things that weren't painted. Annoying color matches, which aren't really very color matched. But then crank it up a little bit by making proportions that are really strange and details that are muddled, as we'll see. And, well, yeah, this is probably my least favorite out of all of them. And I went ahead and I left all the weapons and stuff on him, or at least as it comes, because for the most part, the shield, quote-unquote, that's over here, is generally just on the arm. And it's supposed to be a GN shield. I don't understand why it has, like, PKE meter sticks that come out. I don't know what's going on there. That's a Ghostbuster reference. It's a thing. And, well, basically that's all it does. And it has a T-tab and slides onto the hole in the arm. And I'm doing accessories and stuff first because getting them out of the way will actually give me slightly more articulation. Then you have the Buster Sword, which is an upgraded version of the Buster Sword that we already had. Does most of the same things, except this one has this cool rifle mode. And I say cool because, well, it's got a handle right there. And it does... Come on. Gotta remember how it does it. Come on. There we go. I knew it. Okay, so it slides open and you've got a piece in there with the barrel. Pretty cool. You do have to paint these things because there's not even stickers for it. I got as close to the brownish grayish color as I could. I think it's decently close. You can see there was a lot of cleanup necessary, and I got it pretty bad, along with some nasty paint blemishes there. It looked better in the dark. And yeah, like I said, this is in its rifle mode, quote unquote. So if we pop out this handle, which is actually incredibly snug, and pull it off the tabs, same way we did with the previous one. Once again, here we go, the feet wanting to fall out from under it. We'll go ahead and pull out this handle, because, well, if you put it in sword mode, you don't need that handle. And you just slap it in his hand, like so. And there you have it. Sword mode achieved. So you can swing this big old boy around. Yeah. I know. Like I said, this is one of my least favorite ones. I'm going to try not to hate on it constantly because it does have some positive notes. This will make an appearance again here in a little bit when we do comparisons, but for right now I want to go over details and articulation and stuff. Right off the bat, we'll start at the head. Head is on normal double ball peg. Can rotate. Be very wary of the little V-fins there, though, because they're super tiny, and I clipped the edges off to make them sharper. You know how you do. There is one major problem, and you guys will probably notice it here. He ain't got no eyes. They don't even give you stickers. Now, this one is very different when it compared to what it came from. This little itty-bitty slit, like way back there, is technically the eye. Like, that little slit right there is the eyes on this thing. So, yeah, they don't bother giving them to you. You do get this little camera sticker right up here on the front of the crest. That's kind of cool. They match the stickers on the shoulders, same like the thrones always sort of had. In fact, the shoulder armor itself is a callback to the throne that it used to be. Speaking of the shoulders, they finally gave you articulation. So where the other ones are mounted fixed from the core, these can pivot. What? Yeah, they waited till now to upgrade these things. I guess it took an innovator getting a hold of the suit to actually do something. So, you got the up and down motion now. You do have a nice polycap mounted shoulder there. You can rotate all the way around. He does have ridiculously long arms that really, honestly, can't go all the way around with stuff in the way. I don't know why he elongated the arms so much. I don't know why. It's just ridiculous. You got a single jointed elbow, or technically a double jointed elbow, but that's hardly anything you get out of the second joint. So, 1.5 joints. Ball joint mounted fist, way out here. This is long. His forearm is longer than his bicep. Why? He does have waist rotation, and it is on a ball joint, so you can rotate it. You can matrix. He does have the same purple in the chest with a nice little lens. It looks nice. Come down to the legs, T-mounted ball joints, so not a whole lot going on there, but you can get some side-to-side shimmy shimmy. You can get some twisty shimmy shimmy as well. And now he's like, bah! I don't know what he's doing. Sometimes they get in some really funky poses when I do that, so they're like funking out, so to speak. I said funking. By the way, you do get these little winglets up here on top of the shoulders for no apparent reason. And you do have to paint the tips white, or you have to use the stickers. By the way, most of the white tips you see here all have been painted, much like the one down here on the side wing. Why it has wings? I don't know. It doesn't transform. But the side wing, you can use a sticker, or you can paint it. Varying degrees of success on the painting. I really wish I had the spray paints that I had just got done using. Maybe I'll go back and redo it. We'll skip what it does here in a second, and we'll go directly to the legs so you can kick forward. You do get... Are they fixed? No, I thought they could rotate. Yeah, they rotate, but they're very, very tight on the ball joint. Kicks really far forward, can kick decently far back, but then you got this situation happening. Just don't do it, kids. And These little side rib pieces are incredibly annoying. They're technically part of the escape pod. You do get this cool lens and sticker that go down here on the leg, so you get another little GN drive bubble on the leg somehow. Don't know. And as far as I know, this doesn't need to be white. I don't know. And you've got very similar ankles to the way all the other thrones were, and the toes down there needed to be painted white as well. But those, for some reason, are also beam saber emitters. You heard me. First time I tried to put that in there, and it doesn't fit. Seriously. There we go. And you do get these nice clear beam sabers. However, there's no point to them because they shouldn't be clear, they should be red. So if you want to take your red metallic marker and go to town on it, by all means, Kenny, go right ahead. So those should be red. They're not. They look kind of funny. Got high heels and a spiky front. Best shoes ever. And that is a very tight fit, so be careful. Now it's not. Wow. Okay. So, come out here to the side skirt bubble. And if you guys remember, this thing comes from the Zwei. The Zwei had fangs on its side skirts. What do you think this thing has? It has little doors that open and break off. Rather, they just kind of do that. Okay, so it has fangs, kind of. I stress the kind of because they're the worst kind of fangs. The ones you have to paint yourself that look garbagey. Those look terrible. Once again, tried to match the grayish brown. I think I did a decent job there. The paint on top of the fangs itself is horrendous. I will never have this open for people to see. Now, they could have easily given you some fangs to fly around and actually do the thing. Nope. Didn't bother. Because Bandai. It is 2009, mind you. He does have the thingy on the back. So that's pretty cool. Got a big long fin. For no apparent reason. And it was mounted on a clip that looked like it should be able to rotate. It doesn't move. But this looks like something from the Thunderbirds. If you don't know who the Thunderbirds are, well, go ask your dad. Now, one thing you can do, if you so choose, this does come off, just like that, and becomes an escape pod, very much like all the Innovator suits did. So they really did upgrade this thing very much like their own. I believe these go back, quote unquote. You fold out these little wingies, they have to go back, I can go forward. And there you go. Got a cool little, very sleek escape pod jet. Once again, these need to be painted or stickers need to be used. However, this thing does come with this that you're supposed to use with it. So this is actually the cockpit pod. And you're supposed to attach it to here? Question mark? I don't know. I'm going to say yes. It goes in one of the two holes. I'll just say that. And I guess if it goes there, it kind of makes sense. So that would be the actual cockpit itself. Figure out where to focus, stupid. Thank you. But what you're supposed to do in this case, because I guess the head is supposed to be included, it comes with that little ball joint to pop the head on. So you actually get the head chucked down like that in its crotch. Yeah. That is one thing about these polycaps. So this uses the same normal side skirt polycaps we've seen, I don't even know how many times on however many kits, but it sucks. They won't stay, and that goes for any of the ones on this particular kit because it uses a couple. Is it? I don't know if it is actually the side skirts, but it uses them in a couple places. No, it's not side skirts, but it definitely uses them, and they definitely suck. So there's no good way about it, to be totally honest. By the way, there's also that area right there needs to be painted. But they don't give you the ability to have the pod or the cockpit area separately. Like, it's just this little dongle hanging out. But yeah, this thing was an enormous amount of frustration. Probably took me longer than most of the rest of the Thrones. It had a lot more engineering, a lot more painting. And I'm saying that even having built its predecessor. I will say the knees are actually color separated. Those are actually their own separate pieces. So, yay for that. Alright guys, so it's time for the comparison. Back up just a little bit here. Major modifications are an understatement. It's way, way taller than its original form. The forearms are ridiculous. Most of the other things that were done to it are ridiculous. And I don't know if he put his own custom touches into it, and that's why it's like that. I have to assume that he borrowed some engineering, some design elements from other things, because his previous mobile suit was this. So, I mean, you let me know. I have a feeling that because the Enact custom he originally had was blue, and then when he got to the Agrisa type, he made it red. So clearly he digs the color red, but you get the extra long spindly parts, kind of, and it won't. His kits have annoyed me to no end, guys. I'm just leaving it. I'm just gonna leave it, and if it falls over, I'm just gonna leave it. So either way, he goes from this to steal that to make this. Good lord. Yeah. I mean, I guess the legs and the sword and the chest are about the closest things. Everything else has been absolutely exaggerated. Most of the sword gimmick itself is the same, but it is bigger and has different details and a bit sleeker, if I'm honest, but I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, I didn't design it, so it is what it is. But let's go ahead and bring out the other thrones. I'll just kind of make it happen here, because they all sort of go together as it is. I'm just going to make a mess here. So, technically speaking, he's one of the Trinity. Technically. Except that he killed this one and that one, and then stole that one's Gundam. So it is what it is. And it was the first time I ever piloted a Gundam, and he turned around and killed somebody who had been doing it for a very long time. And there he is, of course, fighting Lock-On in the final duel. Yeah, I got lazy on the posing. It happens. Yoink. Guys, for final thoughts, unless you are kind of being a completionist about it and you just need to have all the things, I'd say skip this one. It's a handful. It's just not that good. I like the increases in articulation, but everything else is bad. Like, if you're not going to paint the white parts, then you have to suffer through the sheer amount of stickers. It's very fiddly. The polycap problem with them just not wanting to work out properly is a real issue. Just overall, I don't like the way it looks compared to the things it came from. Honestly, it looks like something from a different series entirely, almost. But, I mean, everybody's a little bit different. It is what it is. If I had to say, probably my favorite out of the thrones was the dry. So, you know, it is what it is. But as a team, I think the regular thrones work better than this guy. So, yeah. Skip it unless you really need to have it. But that's it for this review, guys. Make sure you go hit the thumbs up button. Hit the subscribers button if you have not so far. And if you guys are going to grab a 00CTOBER t-shirt, by all means do that. We're getting late in the month, so make sure you go ahead and grab that. Oh, by the way, I didn't even mention it, but these go back and forth, so I kind of missed that on the articulation side. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah, t-shirt. Sorry, forgot about it. I lost my place. So that's it, guys, for this Arche Gundam review. And remember, as always, to keep on building.